Hello everybody, welcome to Bud's Northeast Outdoors. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about my rod setup for ice fishing. I know they've got a lot of these kind of cool looking ice fishing type reels out, and I have never liked those. What I do is I use let's see how, this is my rod locker. And here are my ice rods. So I put those all in here. And what I do is I have certain rods for certain things. I have medium lights, medium heavies, lights. So anyway, on this one right here, we'll use this for the prototype. I have the ice sleeves over top of them. These I got at Runnings for about $9 a piece. I'm not sure if they actually have these in stock anymore at that price, but it's worth investigating if you're in Claremont. It's out on Washington Street. It's right after Home Depot, just as you come into town. So anyway, we'll take and thread these guides down through this rod cover. So anyway, I've got that ice cover off, the rod cover. And like I say, you can get those for about $9.99 down to Runnings. And what I have for a rod is a ugly stick. It's a light. It has a very tiny jig on it, as you can see. Maybe you can see. There it is. It's like a 1/64 ounce. I'll bring it back a little bit. And this here is one of my go-to rods. I love to fish for panfish, especially perch. The rod has a lot of action. It's really good out on the ice. And I've got a bunch of different rods all rigged up, pretty much ready to go. This one here, just when I snapped it, the jig came off. So anyway, and if you see, instead of using those expensive reels like they have at Bass Pro Shops and a bunch of other places that sell ice fishing equipment, what I have is I have taken and I've used a crappie reel. I've done this for years before those expensive fly fishing reels even came out. So it ends up saving a lot of money because these reels only sell for about, oh, I'd say anywhere from $12.99 to about $19.99, depending on the quality you get. The one thing about these is you do have to kind of mess around and try to keep the line centered. If you don't, it will get caught in these grooves right here, right up against the side, get caught in the gears. It's pretty good. It reels very well, the good ones. They have an anti-reel. They also have a drag, and so you can back reel or you can reel if you want, depending on what your preference is. They also backlash, so you're better off feeding the line out from the tip of the rod than you are winding backwards. That's very important to do, especially if you have it on the where you can back reel. And what I do is on my panfish rods, I use about 2-pound ice line. Most of the rest of the rods, I use whatever the fish require. Like if I'm fishing for bass, I'll use 4 to 6, depending on what we have available. And then I'll it's how you set the rod up and what you think you need. Obviously the lake trout I'll use a heavier setup. I actually have a rod that somebody bought me with one of those reels on it from last year. And of course I'm not the type to get rid of anything, so I figured I'd give it a side-by-side comparison. We'll do that this year on the ice. We'll see what's up. But anyway, we'll see how these setups work out on the ice this winter. Obviously, if they don't work real well, we'll tell you. And if they do work real well, we'll tell you. I certainly don't want to steer you the wrong direction out there. So anyway, all you got to do is put this sleeve back on. Just like that, it protects the tips. And then I take and I wind it underneath the holders in the rod locker. And then close it up. There's not that much to it. There we go. That just holds everything in place till you get out on the ice. And then if you want to, you can hook this right here. It's a handle. It's got Velcro on the inside, so it goes over top of one strap. And you can just twirl it around, press it in place, and there you go. Carries just like a suitcase. Or you can put it over your shoulder if you want. It's got a little padded shoulder piece here, and these both hook to the ends. You can slide the padded shoulder piece back and forth to align it up, and it works really good. You can either carry it out, or what I normally do is I just put it in the sled. I have a fold-over sled with a Smitty underneath it. So hopefully we'll get to go out quite a bit more than we have in the past. I have only done one trip each year the last couple of years, and I really love ice fishing. I love the whole thought of it. The setting the tip-ups up, the coming up with a pattern. What I typically do is I lay my tip-ups out in an L pattern. And one day I'll do them in a right pattern, which is where I go 3 holes out and then 2 to the right. And then I'll do 3 out and 2 to the left the next time I go out. And it's a lot of fun setting them up. And when you don't get any bites the first hour or two, on the one closest to your setup, you just move that one further out on your ice line for your traps, your tip-ups. They also call them traps. But it's a lot of fun, and you can go right, left, zigzag, back and forth, do whatever you want. I mean, you can use lake maps and try to find on your phone, on your GPS, where the rock piles and stuff are, where the points are. They have apps for your phone where you can actually do it, but only the good ones are obviously the good ones are a pay type option. So I'm not really into that very much. Like I say, I'm kind of a cheapskate. I like doing things for free. Or come up with a better mousetrap on my own. We'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed how to set up a jigging rod. And you always start that off if you use ice line all the way through with the arbor knot. We talked about that in the setting up of the tip up, spool and a tip up. And that's the first knot you also use on a reel during the summer. So it's best to do that type of work indoors though, where your fingers stay warm and it's not a hard thing to do. Okay, well everybody have a happy new year. This is Bud from Bud's Northeast Outdoors. Talk to you later. Like and subscribe if you'd love to. I'm full of tips.